Welcome to the Evolutionary Times. We've got a fantastic show planned for you tonight.
Filled with interviews, informationals, and breaking stories showcasing the news through an evolutionary light. Breaking news on Pop Culture Report. Brad and Angelina have broken up yet again after Brad was caught cheating. He claims it was a younger woman who offered him a better chance at passing on his genes to the next generation. Many are still outraged by Brad's active infidelity, saying he should instead focus on the children he already has to ensure they have grandchildren. Angelina has yet to release a statement concerning the allegations, but earlier rumors state that she already had concerns about their relationship since the couple got their results back from 23andMe. Again, we are faced with the human struggle between individual success and altruism. Quality over quantity is not the only dilemma here on the table.
Hi, Bob here. I'm about to do an interview with a very interesting runner who claims that she knows the key to win the next marathon.
On your mark, get set, go.
Oh, hey, Bob. Sophie, great to see you.
You as well, Bob. Yeah.
Now, I have a question. What makes you think that you have an advantage over the other marathon runners?
Oh, see, Bob, when my toe's on the line, they don't know that I have a secret. See, people run better when they have bare feet because we have these natural arches that allow us to run mega distances, you know.
What do you mean by that? It's natural to run barefoot.
Yeah, Bob, okay, so our ancestors long ago, when they were hunting the prey, we didn't sprint to catch them, man, you know? We outran them. We're distance runners.
So, would you even say that running marathons is natural?
I would say so, Bob, yeah. Yeah, and for my next marathon, I plan to run barefoot, you know? Because usually when you wear ultra supportive shoes like the Nike shoes or whatever, your natural arch, those muscles, you lose them, man. So I'm slowly transitioning. I'm building up my arch muscles again, and that's my advantage, you know.
So when you toe the line, you really toe the line.
That's correct, Bob.
Thank you for the interview. Get back to training.
All right, Bob.
This week's science segment covers the Chinese scientist who says he's the first to create genetically modified babies using CRISPR technology. Scientist He Jiankui of the Southern University of Science and Technology in Shenzhen, China, used CRISPR gene surgery technology to genetically modify twin girls in utero so as to protect them from inheriting HIV from their father. This was done by editing the CCR5 gene, which disables the surface membrane protein receptor that allows HIV to bind to and infect cells. The scientists mimicked a naturally occurring genetic mutation which affects millions of people worldwide. This means that these individuals do not express the CCR5 gene and are made immune to HIV as a result. This breakthrough in genetic engineering opens the door to the plethora of ethical questions this science presents. It will be challenging for scientists and governments to safely evaluate these techniques for implementation in experiments and for further human use. But as of now, it begs the question, have humans finally become an intellectual force stronger than evolution?
And now for the political segment. The Democratic and Republican Party have become increasingly polarized since the Trump presidency. The party lines have been steadily diverging, and evolutionary psychologists believe Trump's campaign relies on this. Trump is playing on the in-group, out-group philosophy to achieve the following. Those who are conservative are in, and those who are left are out. From an evolutionary perspective, Homo sapiens' formation of an in-group that extended beyond kin lines is what helped them cross the great cooperative divide and survive. Unfortunately, this didn't work too well for the Neanderthals that the Homo sapiens united against as the outgroup. In many ways, Trump is mimicking these evolutionary tactics for his political campaign, making us all wonder what will happen if the polarization of the two parties continues. Welcome! In this segment, I'm going to be interviewing French chef Linguini.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and I'm so sorry that Remy couldn't make it today, but could you tell me a little bit about the two of you?
Yeah, so we are a French culinary duo founded in Paris, and we're best known for our ratatouille dish.
That's wonderful, but I think you're forgetting one important detail.
True, Remy is a rat.
Fascinating. Now, could you tell me how a human and a rat were able to work so well together?
Yeah, so first, we met during a soup mishap, but you know, humans tend to think that all rodents are just vermin, and they're really not.
Could you tell me more?
Yeah, so ever since like 1500 years ago, humans, rats, and mice have all just lived together. Since we were moving around and we were hunters and gatherers till when we were at agricultural times and we stayed put, they were with us.
Now, why is it that rats and mice have been following human population for so many years?
Well, as we ate different foods, we would always throw it out, and then the mice and rats would eat it. And so then they just always changed, or they ate the scraps that we ate, so as our food changed, theirs did too. And so did their cooking habits.
So fascinating. A classic case of coevolution right here. Thank you so much for the interview.
Today's weather report includes local complaints about the startling and unprecedented amount of rain this fall. Failures in infrastructure have led to the formation of large puddles everywhere, traffic jams, inability to attend Veterans Day events, and in some cases, flash flooding. Some worry that if it keeps raining like this, that New York City will be underwater by 2100. Hopefully, if that's the case, we can evolve ourselves some gills and flippers. This just in from our fact checkers. That's not how weather or evolution work. My bad. However, climate change does pose many serious risks, including more frequent and more intense weather events, higher flood risk due to rising sea levels, and more severe droughts in parts of the world that can lead to worse wildfires and famine. Additionally, scientists worry about the massive losses of biodiversity climate change is likely to cause, as well as the proliferation of disease-causing organisms like mosquitoes due to generally warmer temperatures. Humans will have to adapt to the unpredictable world we have created as a result of our excessive burning of fossil fuels by adapting our infrastructure, manufacturing, and agricultural practices. Many recent reports on the state of the climate explain that even the goals from the Paris Climate Accord are not enough to prevent serious economic and environmental damages. Unless we are able to quickly and effectively both lower carbon emissions worldwide and sequester carbon already in the atmosphere, humanity will face the challenges posed by a rapidly changing global environment. Talk about the evolutionary mismatch we'll have to face when all of our cities end up underwater. Looks like we've got a lot more to worry about than just a light drizzle. Back to you, Bob.
And now for the health report. It seems every year people are jumping onto the next new diet trend, but this year's diet is actually quite old. It's called the evolutionary diet, and humans have been using it since the Paleolithic age, nearly 200,000 years ago. This diet looks into our evolutionary past, where high fatty and sugary foods were rare and not available to be incorporated into the human diet. Because it was uncommon to come across these high insulin foods, we evolved a natural craving for them and would readily consume and store these foods as fat, decreasing the chances of starvation. Today in America, finding these high fatty and sugary foods is not uncommon. In fact, many producers harness these natural tastes and amplify them beyond what our ancestors would have ever encountered, like chocolate cake, for example. This is called a superstimuli. The goal of the evolutionary diet is to eliminate these superstimuli from our diet. So the evolutionary psychologists recommend this diet over any other because it's relatively cheap, natural, and so good for your body. This not-so-new diet, based on the evolutionary perspective, may revolutionize your health in 2019.
Here I am at the site of the California Camp wildfires to interview local hero Jonathan Johnson. So, Jonathan, you've been saving people left and right since the wildfire started, but you aren't a firefighter or trained in any emergency services, so what spurred your actions to put yourself at such a great risk?
I mean, it's pretty obvious from an evolutionary standpoint.
An evolutionary standpoint? What do you mean?
I just figured I'd get on the news, get some attention, maybe get some dates.
Dates? Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, my wife left me a few months ago. It's been a rough time, so I figured get some other attention, maybe get on Tinder.
I'm sorry to hear that, but why were you saving people then if you're looking for dates?
I mean, I'm already getting like really positive feedback on Tinder, just from the few people I've saved. Look how many matches I have, man.
Well, Jonathan, how do people know about this already? We're not live right now.
I 100% tweeted it before I even got to this interview. I saved one girl and I was like, I'm a hero, guys. I'm out here saving lives.
Wow, well, is that really the only reason you have behind your actions?
Yeah, man. I mean, I figured it would improve my chances of reproductive success. Gotta pass on those genes, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure that this might help you with something, but I'm not sure it'll help you with the exact thing you're looking for. Thanks for being with us today, Jonathan. I'll let you know when the interview goes live and you can see the feedback you get then. Thank you. Thanks for watching the Evolutionary Times.
Come back next week to learn more.